Hello, everybody, and welcome to a year of Without Context.
It has been a year.
It-
Episode 43. We've missed a few weeks, but life happens. But we did it. We made it to a year.
And
And truthfully, the last few weeks have been kind of lackluster, but we're gonna be figuring out stuff to keep uploading to the channel in case the podcast can't get, uploaded and recorded. You have the weekly D&D campaigns and maybe
yeah,
some other stuff, down the line. So channel's not gonna be as slow. We're definitely gonna be bringing more stuff to you guys.
I will say the episode that just came out is, at least for my standards, a little rough. Because what I like to do is whenever I transition maps on Roll20, I like to do like a transition. But I had been taking care of my partner for the last week. She has typhus,
Oof.
bringing that one back. Um,
Throwback.
So, yeah, so I've been taking care of her for that, and I mean, she's good now. She's doing a lot better. But as a result, I just came home from doing that, and just I said, okay, let me just double check this for quality. Done.
Yeah.
Upload.
And
And as a result of that, Sharky had to record on last Saturday, which will come up
yeah, then
this
the next
Monday.
episode is recorded from my setup, so my audio wasn't exactly to what Deca uses. So there are some audio issues. Some people are a little lighter in volume than they would be. Uh, I thought I had made the proper adjustments through Discord and all that, but two people still came in a little light. So next episode, a little different feeling than what you guys normally get, but hopefully
But it
back on
isn't in,
track
but it is in
afterwards.
1080p.
It is in 1080p, which is so. One thing I want to talk about is the for some reason I just had Premiere on like the wrong settings because I would export a video and it would go from a recording. Like if I was just recording Dead Space, the recording itself would be like 6 gigs because I'm recording in a high quality. I would edit it and I would export it from Premiere, and the video would be like 32 gigs, like after export. So I'm like, I am doing something wrong in the settings here because this file size is coming out 4 times greater than it should be. And then I have to compress it through something else to have it drop down to like 1 gig or something. And I'm like, man, I finally went through. And yeah, it was a setting on the little export screen. It's like, hey, what kind of quality do you want for your bit rate? And
Huh?
normally that's supposed to be like 14 or 15 if you just want like a high quality video. Mine was at 32. So I'm sitting here and like the last like 6 months, I'm like trying to just figure it out. I don't know what I'm doing
Your
wrong.
uploads take your exports take like 3
My
hours.
exports take like 30 minutes and then I compress them, which takes about another 30 minutes. But I'm like, if I started with a 7 gig video and I edit it and I export it, how does it go to 45? So, and then it's like
Yeah.
compressing when I compress that down through Handbrake, which is another program that I use, it drops it down to like 700 megabytes. And I'm like, I don't understand what I'm doing. So
Surely there's a middle ground here.
I had to go through and because I keep a lot of stuff. I keep the audio from these
Mhm,
like the audio files separate. I keep it as like the original, then the finished product, and then like the audio files.
mhm.
And I had always the edited version of it, like the editing before the compression. And I had to once I cleared up all those edited versions, I opened up like 150 like gigs of
Oh, Jesus.
memory on my hard drive. So I was like, oh shit. So
I
hopefully
have
going forward, this podcast and everything is a lot more forgiving on my uh hardware that I have here.
my secret weapon is that I have a 4 terabyte hard drive that
Yeah.
I just use as my external, and that's how I get away with like my my having my projects and my videos on the same hard drive space. It's
Yeah.
just it's just 4 terabytes. What's it gonna do?
Yeah. The thing I don't do is I don't keep like the assets I use during like episodes. I just keep the footage itself. So if I had to go back and like re-edit something, it wouldn't be what the original one is because most of the time I've already deleted like the assets and the photoshopped like
Mhm.
stuff and everything. But that was just a thing that I found out this week. Back to the episode in the podcast. We've been doing this for a year. We've covered a lot of topics, some in multiple parts or like continuations of previous things. Some stuff we never got around to. Like I don't think we ever got to like the GameCube episode or like anything about our like video game topics.
I have a hot take since we're just gonna I feel like we're just gonna do a round robin of shit we just missed.
Yeah.
I have a hot take. The GameCube wasn't great. Wasn't.
It's like it had good stuff on it, but yeah, the system itself was just like, oh, it came out at a weird time, and also the fact that it had the tiny discs. Like
Everyone remembers the gimmicks of the GameCube. No one remembers any good original games. I will say the GameCube versions of Metal Gear Solid, very good.
Oh yeah,
But
Twin Snakes.
yes, Twin Snakes was very good. However, like the games, like name me one game on the GameCube that you haven't found anywhere else that's really good.
Pikmin. Mario Sunshine.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that? But yeah, we've covered a variety of topics, and we've like haven't covered some things in like the series of things that we do. It's been a weird like evolution of this podcast, I would say. Our first episode was us, talking about just our favorite D&D characters and something that was like personal to us for the most part.
It's just a softball entry into
Yeah, and then we had our, like here's our game systems and like our like talks about life and everything and all of our like experiences with them. And then we had like what's our favorite folklore kind of stuff. And it's been pretty interesting. Like all the different stuff that we talked about with the different people that we've had on the show, the various guests that we've had before. Or 5. We've had 5 guests, I believe.
Yeah.
We've had Noah, we've had Pyrrha, Luke, X, Dom. So some good people on the show in the last year also. I'd have to say though, over this last year and like doing podcasting for the first time, like I love this. And I want to do more of it. And it's kind of disappointing that people just had stuff come up, so we couldn't get the full gang together today to celebrate the 1 year. And I would have liked to go 52 for 52, but
I don't think any podcast ever goes 52 for 52 in their first year.
Just 52, just like let's hit the 52 for 52 weeks.
That doesn't happen.
What was your favorite episode that we've talked about?
I honestly, I like the ones that my favorite kind of episode are the ones we pitch like 5 minutes before we hit record. Just like, yeah, sure, go.
No, it's like if you had to think about like one, like what do you think was your favorite episode or favorite topic that we've covered that you talked about?
I will say I did like the Great Value Superhero Team.
Dude, I'm thinking about that one too. I think that was my favorite episode that we've recorded.
That was really good.
Because it was like we all just found these like dumb superheroes. And it's like let's make the Great Value Avengers.
That was I really liked that when everyone came in with their own like fire to it.
Yeah, everybody came in with their own energy. I liked what was it, Haley's character just kind of being the team's social media manager.
Yeah.
That was I think that's my favorite episode. I do like the episodes with our guests though. Talking to Noah was definitely like a high point episode for me. He's a very cool guy, very talented guy. And the DM roundtable with Luke and Pyrrha.
DM roundtable is probably like up there with my faves because it's like, wow, I'm just talking to pyrotechnics. I watched that guy on the EULCS back in the day, and I'm now just talking to him.
So I'm not going to say Pyrrha is a friend of mine. I don't know him that well. He doesn't know me. But the fact that we are associated with pyrotechnics, it's so weird to think about that because it's like you think of what he's done and everything, and it's like he just said to come on to a podcast like with one guy that I think he knows and like a bunch of other people.
I hesitate to say fanboy because I know but like fanboy is up there with like an emotion I had when he was like, yeah, sure. It's like, fuck.
He's a very cool guy.
Very cool, very down to earth.
Very down to earth, and it's just so weird because you think of like what we're doing and everything, and you think of like you look at like his pedigree of everything that he's done, and it's like the internet's a weird place. Like we just know people. It's like
Um, I liked the first episode we did with him, where like his cat like fucked something up in the background. So it's like,
yeah,
hey, hold on, I'm out.
we were 5 minutes into recording, I think, and then his cat like knocks over like a potted plant, and I cut out like 10 minutes of the episode because he has to clean up his cat's mess, which is like probably sums up being a cat the most.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, don't do that. Boop.
I'm not going to take away from Luke being on that episode. Talking to Luke,
Luke was great too.
He's a cool guy. He's a very cool dude. I love playing in his D&D games. Whenever it's my turn to be in the party.
I enjoy watching when I get a chance to, like, all of your guys' like shenanigans. The last thing I watched was you like inventing Pokeballs.
Yeah,
Something like that.
there was the episode of hunting like dinosaurs and stuff, and basically it was just Pokemon. Like they had inventions that were basically Pokeballs. And I did the Cobalt thing of like I buried one with the button face up and had a T-Rex run at it. And I beat I beat Luke's roll to just have my Cobalt just stupidly trap a T-Rex. And
Face toward enemy.
Yeah, Klang's survived a lot longer than he has any right to have.
For him.
And it's cool getting other content creators like Dom, like Victor. That guy Dom is a good friend of mine from work. Just another content creator who had his I'm gonna probably tease him about this. He had his like 15 minutes of fame when he made a meme video for Doctor Strange, and overnight it like just blew up like insanely, just like blew up like overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just my close friends like Xavier.
Yeah,
like I love the episode. I love just talking to Xavier about wrestling and shooting the shit for an hour. So we've had some very cool guests, but like I think Noah was out of the guest episodes. I think Noah was probably my favorite because we just have a long history with him and everything, and just like seeing him, you know, become a musician and then kind of transition away from that to doing stuff for other people, and like just hearing his thoughts about that industry and everything. It was very insightful, and I like getting those views into like other like creative endeavors that people are doing.
I don't like I'll just be honest here. I don't like a lot of the people that we've, you know, disassociated with over time.
Yeah.
From, you know, back in the day.
Yeah. Well, back in the day.
Back in the day. But I thought Noah was an interesting person, and quite frankly, I still don't remember who they were back then.
I don't remember gamer tags.
Doesn't really
often.
matter.
I don't remember gamer tags often, but getting to know like people back in that group, like eventually adding them on Facebook, you know, seeing them for real and seeing them who they are. I'm still bad with names at times. It's like some people can come in and be like, yeah, I was so and so in this group, and it's like, that's cool. I just don't like when I logged on to League after like a year, I looked at my friends list and I was like, I don't know any of these people because people might have name changed and like all this other shit. So, but it's cool getting those close friends that you get, even when like the shit show like happens.
Yeah, we'll do that episode one of these days. One of these days, just air out all that fucking, you know.
I don't think we have to.
I don't think we have to. I think it did itself. It kind of aired itself out like 3 or 4 months ago.
So just the long story short, we were in a group a long time ago. The two of us, Alvin and Charlie, and just we were all dumb kids in our early to mid 20s, and sometimes maybe late teens.
It was just probably one of the oldest person there.
It was just a gaming organization. Like it was just a group that we all hung out with, and we did contests and we ran tournaments and we played League of Legends together. And it was just like 30 some odd people just kind of vibing. And then egos and schisms and back talking and just the dumb teen shit. And yeah, it's just kind of been I guess the people who like stuck together through it all just kind of stayed
Made
together,
a podcast.
made a podcast.
um, just going through like some of the people that like talking like future content, not
Yeah,
past content.
we have a list of
Uh,
people that we could talk to.
I know people in various industries that like between the two of us we can um find guests
Yeah,
once again, or our previous hosts who are still hosts. Just
they're
like
busy.
if I went through the list of my of these people
Haley's
between the
being
two of us,
Haley is probably being the most adult job out of all of us.
like
So
between the six of us, like the other three of them are the most adult. I'll say that much.
yeah,
Um, I am getting a job soon, but that's not going to like. I'm getting a job at an auto plant that's like down like 20 minutes away from me.
yeah,
But that's not that's a union job where it's like 6 to 3. I come home, I freshen up and get ready to record or whatever.
yeah.
It's not like I'm gonna be doing like I'm not working like a nurse's 14-hour shift or anything.
No,
Just
and
have a
like
regular shift.
that's the thing. It's like a lot of us work just normal jobs, like in different fields. Manual labor. You're about to be, auto plant.
Also manual labor.
We have people in administration. People in education. So we all have like set hours. It's
Yeah.
just
It,
being here. At the end of the day, it's
it's
like the energy is just not always there.
it's the D&D thing, right? It's like, one of the biggest hurdles for the average stereotypical D&D game is when is everyone going to come together and be a part of the table, right?
Yeah, it's just
Like,
that with a podcast.
yeah. Um but yeah, I know people from all walks of life. I know VTubers, I know video game developers, I know people who are, in all sorts of different fields
Yeah,
as it were. So it's just a matter of like I still want to do that episode of like bringing Tasha in and be like, "Hey, how do you feel about playing D&D for the first time ever?"
yeah. I mean,
So that episode's coming.
we got Tasha, and I have a bunch of YouTube and streaming friends that I've known for a long time, also who I can bring in. And you have people. It's like we have a bunch of people that we can still bring into the show to co-host when it's just us, and we need somebody to fill in. It's just a matter of getting that schedule set up. I can't just be like last minute, like, hey, can you fill a spot?
Yeah.
So weeks like so stuff's going to happen. Even going into this next year, it's like we might miss a week or so when we just can't all get together and all that, and it's going to happen. It's just life. We're not doing this for a living yet, so but that's always the end goal, right? Just being able to do what you love.
I don't
But
think I would want to do a podcast for a living.
yeah, well,
Content creator for a living,
they're
sure.
yeah, I mean, it'd probably be like a thing on top of what else you're doing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, SharkyHat, new affiliate streamer, by the way. SharkyHat is like
Hey,
streaming content creator, and it's like on Fridays I upload a podcast. So, but yeah. So I don't really know what the next year holds. I guess if I want to talk about next year, I guess I do kind of want to get like a solid basis of what the show is actually about. Like I know we just go through like random topics at times and everything, and that was kind of like the plan. But it's like maybe we should start planning it out a little bit more, like week to week. Just like, okay, so we did this. What we want to record today? I don't fucking know. Let's just start recording and see what
throw a
happens.
dart, throw a dart at a dartboard to
I
see
would
what
say
sticks.
I'd say probably a little more structure would be nice. That's probably something that I've probably self-criticized about for the podcast. It's like we kind of just are all over the place here at times.
A little bit.
So what is happening? My phone. But yeah, it's been pretty fun though. Like it's been interesting. We had the little like one-off episodes that kind of added on to, you know, previous episodes that we did, like the fan fiction one and the like other stuff. But episodes like that could probably come and go if we need something. Also, we did just kind of throw a lot of stuff at the wall this year and saw what stuck.
Again, that's the podcast experience. You like just throw a bunch of spaghetti at the wall, see what happens.
Yeah, and I know. I think I do like episodes where we have guests more,
Mhm.
especially if it's like just you, you
A
and me.
structured topic.
Yeah, it's like if it's just like you and me, it's like, oh, we have guests. Like I like those episodes more.
Mhm.
I like when there's more than two people. Like I don't mind talking to you for an hour, but it's like there's only so much you can do with like a back and forth. You know, the third person
For
really,
sure.
the third person really throws in like that wild card.
The extra bit to like the extra person that being bounced off of
Yeah,
really makes a difference.
it does. Like that's why I like talking to X about things, or talking to Dom about things, or when we had Noah on the show, where we had it's just like you, me, Haley, like talking about something. So, but I'm excited to see where this next year goes.
Um, sorry, my cat just did something really adorable.
Oh,
I don't like cat. I don't like animals. I'll rephrase that so people don't crucify me. Um, I don't like untrained animals.
yeah.
I like when the animals are like well behaved. They don't jump when they just randomly. They're disciplined. Um, but these animals are not that.
Those animals are not that. I do like
Uh,
oh, just over the last year, I'm noticing on my picture, like just over the last year, it's like we've added a picture, we added a Lego bonsai tree, a sushi Meowchi, and just the very corner edge of my Starjammer book. Right
yeah.
here. Just like slowly building up the background of the podcast. Also, my bed has changed directions, so I can actually freely move in this chair now. I had
It's the
about
little things, right?
it's the little things because I wasn't able to back up from my computer. As I just had to turn my chair and get out because the bed was so pushed up against the back of
Um,
the chair.
I don't know what you're gonna have to do to the audio to this when I show off my mic. But
You got the you got the
I got the
RGB
LGBT
mic.
mic. I got
Yeah,
the LGBT mic.
the LGBT mic.
Cycles through various LGBT flags. It's a little hard to see in the light, but there's a non-binary one.
So you and Haley both
There's a
have the
bisexual one.
LGBT mic.
There's a trans flag. Yep. I think Duck does too, but I don't think he
I
uses it.
think I don't think he does it. I think he uses his headset one more.
He's just recommended it to us. Shout out to Duck
I'm getting my
for
mileage.
that.
I'm getting my mileage out of this Yeti. I've had this shit for years now.
Hell yeah.
It's like I finally like for years I used it as just like the stand, and I think over the last like 2 years I finally got this like arm for it, and it's definitely helped. So, but
Hell yeah.
yeah, I mean, this is why I kind of like having multiple people to kind of talk to because we're 25 minutes in, and I don't know what else to talk about. So, uh,
Um, tell the people what you've been. I don't know. What's the favorite thing that you have streamed on your Twitch so far? So now that you've made your triumphant return, thanks to wired cables.
yeah, since I have a cable where you can't see it through the door, but it's kind of going under the bed and around. Um, and somehow like nobody said anything about it yet, so we're just gonna keep that going for as long as we can. Um, so I've been streaming the last 3 weeks or so. It's kind of been a mixture. Most of the stuff that I've recorded and uploaded has been just like homebrewing streams of D&D stuff. I worked on some classes, some subclasses stuff for contests that were ended up submitted on a Cinderblock Sally, who is somebody that I'm in the community of and somebody who streams like D&D homebrew, and they run contests, and I'm current 2 week in a row champion, but I might have rigged also the votes a little bit because I have more friends that come into the stream. And I'm not entering this week, so unfortunately I wasn't able to get the trap like fully developed.
It'd be like that.
But the game that we started, because when I started streaming, I stopped playing Dead Space 3. I just was not feeling that game. Like it is definitely the Dead Space that killed the series for me. And I don't know why. It just felt so just did not feel fun to play. So we switched over to Devil May Cry 1, which is a game that I never played, or at least never played for a long period of time. I think I got to like the first or second room and just like didn't get it back in the day.
It's harder to play on the PlayStation 2 as well.
Yeah, and even now playing it, like it feels bad to play because of just the age is showing. But
Have you ever played the first Witcher game?
no, but I hear it's god awful.
It is the worst. It is so hard to. It is not aged at all. It is
I think
so
one and two.
bad.
I think 1 and 2 are rough. I think 3 is where they kind of got into their own like gameplay style with it. But yeah, so we're playing Devil May Cry 1, the HD collection. It's been about a week since that last upload though. I'm still trying to figure out like a stream schedule and how to break it up in variety because I just don't want to stream Devil May Cry 4 days a week.
I mean, you could though.
I could though. The plan was, Monday, my own first day of the week, kind of unwind, do D&D stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, Thursdays, play the main game that I'm playing. And Friday, depends on how I feel at the end of the day. It could be D&D stuff or it could be some Destiny 2 since the new season is going to be starting not this Tuesday but the Tuesday after. And Saturday is just kind of up in the air for whatever I feel like doing whenever I feel like doing it. So we're kind of trying to keep ourselves to a schedule, but some days I come home, work's exhausting. You see this tanned face in the sunglass mark? That's how often I'm in the fucking sun. You see that shit? That is a sunglass line.
At least you're turning like you're baking in nicely.
Yeah. And yeah, so it just depends on the energy I have. This week was weird because I got home yesterday, kind of felt a little too worn out to stream, and then we got the podcast today, and tomorrow I'm playing in the game rooms D&D stream. So yeah, took away from my Thursday streaming, so I guess we'll figure out what we're doing on Friday. But I do need to get back to Devil May Cry because I am kind of in the middle of that. So
Do you plan on going through like all of the games, or at least the games that are canonical, so like the trilogy?
eventually, I have never believed in playing a series like one after another. So like I never went from like Half-Life straight to Half-Life 2. I never went from
Life 3 confirmed.
yeah, so I've never like gone through a series like one after another. I like getting it done and then going to something else for a bit, kind of palate cleanser.
Mhm.
But yeah, we finished Dead Space 2 and I went to Dead Space 3 and I was probably like, it's probably just like I'm being worn out from Dead Space. But like just thinking about it, it's like I just am not having fun playing 3. This one feels so bad.
If all else fails, you can start playing a JRPG.
I could, but I don't want to commit like years to a stream, especially
That's coward talk.
if I'm only playing it a few days a week.
So like when I stream, or when I used to stream, I would stream like League of Legends.
Yeah,
But I don't anymore
I don't either.
because much I don't stream, period. It's more what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah,
But the last stream I did, I think, was like a D&D stream as well, where I was like I was making my character for a one shot that I was doing, or that I was playing in. Um and that was fun because I played the son of my character who I played through in Curse of Strahd, who is like 7'3". And his father's like 3'2".
yeah.
Short kings.
Short Kings. Uh,
Um, but
yes. So
so instead of anyway, the point saying all that is I like to record things because I like to be able to go back to it and be like touch it up in Premiere or whatever.
yeah,
I have I've tasted Premiere and being able to edit with it, and you cannot stop me from editing if you tried. And I'm not good at it. That's not to say I'm good at it to be sure, but I am picking it up. I think you can see improvements as you watch my episodes for Call of Duty be uploaded. Um, and yeah, I think it truly, if I wanted to play a game, to like upload it onto the YouTube or whatever, I think it would be like a game like 2 Point Hospital or 2 Point University or one of those simulation games.
Yeah.
See if I can find Theme Hospital on online, or well, you didn't hear that. You see if I can find like Theme Hospital or something. Just a really nice simulation game. There's no pressures or anything. Just sitting there and curing people who have a like bloated head.
We're
You
not going to be
know,
playing Trauma Center.
I'm not playing no trauma set or nothing. Not nothing that requires dexterity because I do not have hands. I have hands, but you can barely see them because they're blurred out. But I do not have very good finger dexterity.
Fair enough.
Um, I have really good digit dexterity because I played in band for decades. But these fingers can't do shit.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. So, I mean, you're editing, the D&D game for the most
Mhm.
part and uploading it, and we've got a really good response on that series too, which feels great. Uh,
It-
Especially being the first time we've recorded and uploaded a D&D game to something like this. I know you play in live stream ones, so you kind of have
yes,
a feel for it, but like this is the first, you're recording and editing, and
I'm
you're the
recording.
one,
I'm DMing.
you're DMing, you're the one doing everything for it.
In the only thing I think would make that I think I'm almost to a point where I'm kind of gated at how good I can be. I think the only thing I need to truly do what I need to do is like a second monitor.
Yeah.
Um and that's just to have all my DM stuff on the screen over here, and that way I can just record right here, and this will be where I'm recording, and this is going to be where all my stuff goes. um, I unfortunately don't have the means to do that just yet. Soon TM, because I got a job, or I'm working on getting a job. So that's probably going to be one of the first major like fluff purchases that I'm making for myself. It's not a necessity per se because I still got to fix my teeth. I got to figure out what's wrong with my nose. I got to figure out a whole lot of things that are wrong with me. But as far as like a purchase that I just want as a treat yourself type of situation, it'd be a monitor.
I mean, that was like me. Like I finished up like paying off like a card and everything, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's something down. And then my old computer like shit the bed. So I was
Mhm.
like, all right, slap down $2,100 on a new computer. Let's go. And that's the one that has carried me so far. Thank God for solid state hard drives and their
Yeah,
reliability.
yeah, no kidding.
I,
Um,
I do have a bit of anxiety every time I turn off this computer though, because it has an all-in-one cooler. So I'm afraid of like the liquid just pouring out one day and like short circuiting everything. I hate, even though it's like a contained thing, I hate the idea of like there's liquid in my computer.
you'd hate those fucking computers that are like an aquarium.
I would never. Well, the like ones that are in aquarium, they're usually like the mineral oil ones, which are just like, hey, this is not water, so it's not going to short circuit everything. We're just gonna like soak your computer though in this to cool it down.
Yeah.
It's like your
Hey,
computer is underwater.
it's effective though.
It is, and it's just fucking crazy though, because it's like we're just gonna submerge this whole PC in mineral oil. It's just like I fucking guess. Like
I guess
I don't think you can resell a lot of that, but
some of that you're stuck with for the rest of your life.
yeah, it's like I think you just have to ride it out at that point.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely been interesting, and it's been nice streaming again. We got affiliate, which is great, and everybody who's come in and has thrown like subscriptions and everything my way has been very very nice to see, and very grateful for all of that help, especially my friend Mark Goblin Welder coming and just like casually dropping 10 subs into the channel. So
I think Duck is also working towards that, right?
yeah, Duxa working towards affiliate. I think he might need the 3 viewers per stream because when I was watching with somebody else, it was only showing 2. So I don't think he's gotten over that
That number
3
is
view.
hardly ever accurate.
It's not for the longest times. I'm streaming with 0 viewers on OBS, but I look at the viewers list and I see like 6 people.
I do that sometimes when I'm on Dire Bear's Twitch. I'll like just click on the views, and I was like, I mean, there's a bunch of people here.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is bots. Like a lot of them are just like Twitch like bots, I guess, for whatever they're doing. Because I always log in and see like command root and like Alexis the Nexus or something, which I think is a bot. And it's like you see like you start up your stream and you have like 6 bots already in the channel. So
shout out to if Alexis the Nexus isn't actually a bot and is actually like a longtime viewer and fan of SharkyHat.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest, like people make it so easy to like verify things. So I got this tweet this morning from somebody named from this girl named Tegan. Hello and good day. I'm one of your Twitch followers, and I observed you don't have a logo, which is incorrect. My avatar is the SharkyHat logo. It's the SharkyHat face.
It's objectively incorrect.
As a professional graphics designer, I can assist you with my great work. So hit me up if you want, and I'll be there for you. And I'm like, okay, maybe she's just offering, service. Maybe she's a Twitch follower. I don't know. Go to her Twitter and the tweets and replies, and that message has been posted to pretty much every streamer on the goddamn planet. So I don't know if it's a bot or somebody just working that hustle. But
hey, look, I respect the hustle.
It's the same message to like countless fucking people.
Wow. Like I respect the hustle.
I'm like, I can get it, I guess. Like easily 20 tweets per hour, like to just random streamers and content creators. I'm like, are you a bot? Are you like just doing this?
I mean, so like, what's the end game if they're a bot, right?
They want you to join their NFT project.
I guess.
But I do need to probably get like a style done, like cards and headers and stuff like that. I've just kind of been going with my basic stuff because it's like, oh, I did not actually expect to be streaming again. So, but yeah. So you do artwork and stuff, make headers and banners and stuff like that. Please help.
I will say if you make artwork and don't tweet 40 things an hour.
It's like I wouldn't. It's just the fact that most of it's the same message. I mean, there are some differences, so I feel like they're just like kind of typing like a same structure. But it's like, is that all you do on this? You just send it out and hope people will.
I mean, you figure if you send out so many tweets a day, if it's actually you send out so many tweets a day, you get responses from maybe if you get a response from one person per tweet per hour, that's still like
5%.
That's still hundreds of people, overall.
Things I don't think that she is one of my followers because my number has not changed and I don't recognize that name from anything. So, like, you lied to me. Why would I hire you? Our relationship is already built on lies.
So, you've already started somewhere bad.
It's like the bar is literally on the ground.
The bar's in hell.
The bar is in hell, and somehow we keep going lower. But yeah, it's interesting getting back into it. Like I've missed it. I definitely enjoy doing that more than just the pre-recorded content. It's a lot less time consuming. I don't have to record and then edit and all this other stuff. I can just be like stream, export, trim, done. So
more or less what I do, except I add transitions when I switch maps on my game.
Yeah, I could go back to doing like different thumbnails like I have been doing the last few weeks, but it's like
Your thumbnail game is on point.
it is, but like all the stream thumbnails are just the same thing with the number changed. I was like, I'm just gonna be lazy on the live stream uploads. So
That's fine.
if I can if I do get back to a point where I can do like pre-recorded content, I might do like might start hiring somebody to edit like highlight videos or something. And then that's when I'll slap like a custom thumbnail.
I will. I'm shooting my shot right now, Sharky. I'll do it.
No, see the thing is like
pay me, and I'll do it.
To make like a highlight reel video of a series, you have to be entertaining, and that's what I'm struggling with. So
You're fine.
but I do like I do like streaming
I-
more because I can talk to people. Like people can come into chat and talk and everything, and it gives me more of a natural like back and forth than me just sitting in front of a camera talking to myself like an idiot.
I think one of the issues, I think that I ran into that issue when I originally, because I've made the joke several times that I have recorded like 3 different Magic the Gathering drafts, and I was like, I'm eating shit in these drafts. I'm not saying anything.
Yeah,
If
it's
I was
like
eating shit and being entertaining, it'd be one thing, but I'm just eating shit.
yeah, it's like
So
if
I
you could
could
talk
never
to
upload
somebody,
them.
if you could talk to somebody about it, but it's like if I was doing the same thing and like talking to myself, and it's like, oh man, these are some shit holes, aren't they? And it's like
Yep.
no response, and it's like, all right, what do I say next? Like it's just like
Guess I'll go fuck myself.
that's like, and that's the thing. Like you look at a lot of my videos, and it's just me going, okay, and it's like let's continue on and see what else we can, because I don't really like. I don't have the mindset to be loud and obnoxious, nor do I really have the voice for that. So
You've got a very pleasing baritone.
there are times where like I do get startled and stuff like that, especially in like some horror games. But it's like I'm never one to be like and like start screaming and like do like stuff that people can clip and all that. I've always been kind of just more of a I'm gonna sit down, play, and and every now and then gets booped. So
It's the fuck. It's like ProZD where he does a few videos where he's just like very even keeled voice.
yeah,
It's like, oh, I guess we're doing this.
that's the thing. It's like people, all the comments I've gotten over the years of people coming in, it's like, man, this is the most like boring video I've ever watched. It's like, I know you want to do, like be a let's player, but man, you don't really have the energy for it. And it's like, I am undefeated as a sleep aid. Fuck off. Like,
I will say that I do that with Day 9's videos all the time.
let's sleep.
I'll,
Speed run.
I'll put his videos on and I'll just have my wireless headset going and I fall asleep every single time.
Just
It is great because he has the same type of voice you have.
yeah.
He's a little bit more nasally. But whenever he's like talking about his strategies and Magic the Gathering games, that's that good sleep aid. That's that good shit.
Hey, when I
I
eventually
could care less.
when I eventually get my VTube persona made, I can start being like I'm gonna read bedtime stories in my sweet baritone voice.
Hell yeah. Reed, go the fuck to sleep in your pleasing
Be-
baritone.
great value corpse husband voice. But
man.
I say it's like I think I should just take the SharkyHat that I put in my thumbnails and just do like the Canadian mouth from South Park and just make that like the talking animation.
The flapping mouth.
Yeah, just like low effort as all my videos are. So,
You don't even have to do that. You get on Zoom and just start a call by yourself. Zoom has little avatars that you can make that it makes the VTube for you.
oh yeah. But
All you got-
I've already paid for like these VTube things on Steam.
Whose fault is that?
Mine, obviously. So yeah, so eventually like down the line, maybe better gear, maybe actual like assets for Twitch and all that and alerts and all that, and maybe I can be a real streamer.
Real streamer.
Still trying to figure out how to use Streamlabs because my little event box doesn't work anymore. So I had to take that off during the stream on Monday. I was like, it broke. I don't know how to fix it. So I can't tell who's doing stuff. But yeah, it's been nice, and can't wait to play some more Devil May Cry. Maybe Friday, maybe some Destiny on Friday. It's the last week before season change. So get some stuff finished up. But tomorrow, the live stream be playing as Clang,
Hell yeah.
my trash can equipped kobold, who survived way longer than he had any right to, especially as a fighter. So
hey, fighters get that D10 for hit dice.
changed up a kobold from the old one to the new one, so now he can cast a green flame blade. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's a kind of a weird week. It's going to happen because it's not an every week thing for the game rooms game. They rotate their cast because it's West Marches. So hopefully next week, a more consistent, stream schedule. But we have the episode on Monday coming out for called The Nether Deep, which, like I said, was my end of recording, so the audio is not the best. I did what I could to even out everything.
I was really happy with how that session came out, like how it went from point A, point B, and C and D and E, F.
Yeah.
Because it worked out. It's one of those rare sessions where it kind of went exactly as I thought it was going to go, like from beginning to end. So yeah, I'm really happy about that.
Yeah. And like I said, I was just kind of, you'll see a point in the video where it's just like the map, and then I realized that like people have moved off screen, so you'll see me like frantically like scroll the map down.
Oh shit.
Or like zoom out to get everybody, because essentially the whole time I'm like listening in, I'm muted the whole time, but I'm just like at my computer, like looking at the monitor and playing on my phone the whole time for the 3 hours that I sat there and recorded the session. And occasionally it's like the screen changed and it's like the big map, and I'm like zoomed in on it, so it's like, oh, zoom out, center it, and then I just go back to doing what I was doing.
You can say playing Raid Shadow Legends. It's okay.
I am playing Raid Shadow Legends. I'm playing a lot of Raid Shadow Legends. Something to do when I'm at work. So.
But I do appreciate you coming in the clutch for me for that while I was not at my usual setup.
Yeah.
I hope I don't have to ask for that again. Not that I don't think you're a great editor or whatever. I find the satisfaction in, I think I get it when you make videos on YouTube and stuff, but I do get that satisfaction of like, I recorded it, I'm gonna edit it, I'm gonna, do what I gotta do with it.
Yeah, it's also different because I didn't have all the assets that you had, or like how you do things. So it's like I cut the opening to a point where the title card came in, and then I just have like the text on the screen.
That's what I do in Premiere. I just like.
Well, I didn't make a title card. It's like it just loads the Roll20, and then I put like in big purple font like Session 6 Bazazan. And then I put the ending on after cutting it off the end of the last video. So I was like, I can make this work.
Respectable.
So,
respectable.
So,
were you able to cut it? Were you able to cut it off with because it has video like VODs on it?
I'll have to double check. I didn't put the ending cards on it.
Okay.
Or did you like put videos like in Premiere?
No. I have it on YouTube where it just.
Oh yeah, no, I downloaded the file from YouTube and slapped that into Premiere. So.
Gotcha. Okay, that's different.
I did have to cut it. It does abruptly start the ending because you have like a fade in to the ending. So I had to cut where that fade ends. So the music, so the ending just kind of like starts.
Okay. Well,
so I was like, I did what I could.
Yeah,
from my end of things. And it's like also there was a thing, it's like I'm session 6 and I'm looking at the content, it's like we have session 4 here. And I was like, and I messaged, I was like, where's session 5?
At my house on my computer.
Like, I haven't uploaded it yet. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought I was losing my mind here for a bit. But
nope.
Yeah, it's like we've I do, like I said, appreciate the response that everybody's given us for that series. It is probably getting, I think, more views than the actual podcast episodes do when they upload. But that can also just be tagging and the content and all that.
And as the DM for that group, I am enamored with the response. All the players love the response. I'll go and be like, hey guys, we're like one of the most viewed things in several months on Without Context, and everyone's like, yeah.
My favorite thing, I wasn't expecting to hear Haley trying to talk like a male for her
Pretty
character,
good.
so that was pretty entertaining the whole time I was listening in.
I was gonna say, what are your thoughts? You kind of joined. You kind of like had to do that like midway through our
The
campaign here.
party feels like a D&D party.
Yeah.
So you guys levitated a horse into an inn, or levitated a centaur into an inn.
Yes.
And that's when in the Discord I shared the helicopter picking up the horse. And it's like this is just how Erica feels right now.
Yes. All right.
But it's yeah, it's cool seeing the adventure like being played out and everything. I read through the adventure for Spelljammer, and I kind of like what they're doing with that adventure too.
One of my favorite things about it is that it describes, because it's 3 books into one.
Yeah, so
The
I want to
first
talk
book,
about that too.
yeah, go for it.
Wizards, just give us the Uber book. Uh, these books are like the size of Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, maybe like just a tiny bit more, but they're smaller than stuff like Xanathar's or the Player's Handbook or something. And I'm like, bro, just give us the Uber book. Like, give us the book I
We'll
can
say I like this
deck
better.
somebody with.
I like this better because the first book is for players, the second book and the third book are for DMs.
This is this is basically a Spelljammer player's handbook, a Spelljammer's monster manual, and a Spelljammer adventure.
Yes.
And this DM's screen that came with it, which I assume features a dead god.
Yeah.
Which
The
I'm
Dead
not.
God.
I was really excited to see what it included, and it's just encounters. It's just an encounter list.
The
And
DM screen
gravity.
has to be custom tailored.
Yeah, so it's also a gravity for like the ship and like
The rules.
suffocations
Mhm.
and your usual stuff like setting a DC and like ship tasks or quirks or something like that.
Yeah.
I do love this fucking art though.
That art is sick.
Like reading the book, I love the space whales.
The Kendori, yeah.
The Kandori Suite, Murder Comet.
That's just a fucking screaming head.
Murder Comet made me laugh. The fact that we now have penguin phase that are shady merchants. They
That
basically
plasmoid with the spear and the gun.
I'm gonna post a picture right here. This is my favorite art, and I think a D&D book in a long time. Like it's just
Oh wait,
this plasma is ready to fucking go. So, the fact is they gave us the Dorar, I think is what they're called. Their penguin phase, and they're shady merchants. They're basically penguin Jawas, and I'm like, this is incredible.
But I want the little spear going.
And then it was just like, I don't know if it's like just meant to be like a weird like D&D experience, but then they're also like, there's clowns. Here's just space clowns, and it's like, excuse me, it's like they're from this galaxy, and it's like that's cool.
So like as I was saying, my favorite thing about how they're separated is that you can look at the first one and you can look at the adventure, and the adventure has examples on how to create like your own galaxy, because they don't necessarily have their own galaxies. uh they have two for the adventure, and then that's how they have the example of this is how you make so I like that it's like self-referential between the three
Yeah, it
books.
feels like a very self-contained universe for Spelljammer, which is interesting.
I think that's the way to do it though, right? Because
Yeah,
like
because
not everyone's gonna want to do Spelljammer.
it also points out that it's like it's not one galaxy. Like
Yeah.
they're like, here's 5 different galaxies and the astral sea connecting them,
Mhm.
or space connecting them, but it's not space. It's just the astral sea.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, here's like 5 galaxies with their own like shindigs going on. But the adventure is pretty interesting. I was reading through it and I read like the conclusion, and all that. And I think it's a very interesting way to end an adventure. But it definitely seems pretty cool, and I like how we finally got like the official like plasmid race and all that like added in.
Yeah, with the spear.
That picture just makes me fucking laugh so hard. It's so funny because it's like spear, shield, and then there's just a third arm with a flintlock, and I'm like, this plasmid is ready to go. Like, like this plasmid ain't fucking around. I showed my friend Matt it, and he was like, "Oh my god."
The funniest part about it is it's not actually like a character option. It's because the prehensile like little, what do they call it, pseudopod, isn't like, you can't really do anything with it. You can, I guess you could pick up an object 5 pounds of 5 pounds. Last time I checked, unless they changed it between publication.
I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not even going to edit. I'm not going to spend time editing this episode. I'm just going to show it here uh, on stream.
Hell yeah,
Look at this man. This man is ready to go. Like,
that guy right there.
yeah, this guy's ready. It's just like, look at him, just spear and shield, and it's like just a fucking flintlock. He's like, I'm ready to fucking go. It's so weird because like
Come
you
at
look,
me, bro.
because you look at him and it's like you get this big fat one. You get this one that has just a spear, like adventuring gear and all that, and this one just shows up with a gun. So,
I trust that guy with my life.
yeah. So it doesn't say anything. It just says that it can make 3 pseudopod attacks and it can replace one of them with a spear or pistol. The pistol is actually a weapon that it has.
Well, yeah, I more meant the racial option, not the NPC.
Yeah.
As I recall, the
Also, I love the books from Hydro 74. Like all the covers that they've been doing for like the collector's edition stuff.
So cool.
Like they've done the art for like the last like 5 or 6 books, and I love it. I love the art style. Let's just see. Yeah, they've added a lot of races too. The Hadazi, the monkeys,
Josiah.
the astral elves, the autognomes, the griffs.
Gifts.
As a bonus action, pseudopod. So, I guess it comes down to DM Deca because
Sure.
as a bonus action, you can exude a pseudopod up to 6 inches wide and 10 feet long, or reabsorb it into your body. As part of the same bonus action, you can use a pseudopod to manipulate an object, open or close a door container, or pick up and set down a tiny object. It contains no sensory organs, cannot attack, activate magic items, or lift more than 10 pounds. So, in theory, this could pick up a pistol and just shoot somebody.
Sure. But I can't. My monk can't use it as a like third attack.
Yeah. We got the Treon Queen. The ant people finally got a
Bride Queen.
Yeah, they finally got a stat block.
Hell yeah.
They might have had one. I just can't remember. I don't think they did. The Astral Elves, just fucking, you get Misty Step just for proficiency bonus.
They
just
Eladrin already have that. So like, Eladrin got that in Monsters of the Multiverse.
Yeah, the Starlight Step. Magically teleport 30 feet. Just proficiency bonus. Like, sure. As a DM, I'm ready for that. Like,
no, you're not.
I'm not. But I do like how we got all the like the spell jamming helms and like the different ship types. Like they go into a detail a lot about the ships.
I love the ship designs.
There's the ship designs, there's the crew, like how many you need to use each weapon. Mm-hmm. It's a very like informative set of stuff that I can probably also adjust into, you know, other things. But they're all just so different too. Like there's just weird ship designs, and I like that.
I'm excited for the prospect of 2 having a turtle ship.
So I thought you were joking.
No, I was not.
That beholder's name is just Large Luigi.
Yeah. Large Luigi.
I thought that was a joke.
Nope.
I did not see the text on that picture.
So I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make my Large Luigi own a pizzeria instead of a tavern.
Also, I love how Boo looks.
Boo looks magnificent.
They are a tiny giant space hamster.
Miniature giant space hamster.
There are 2 stat blocks. There is tiny giant space hamster, and then there's giant space hamster.
No. They're not tiny. They're miniature. Miniature giant space hamster.
Oh, okay. But
it's an important distinction. A tiny space hamster is just a fucking hamster.
Oh, sorry. It's a giant space hamster and space hamster.
Yep.
But the space hamster is quite large.
Absolute unit.
Also, pigs can fly in Spelljammer, so everything's out the
Excited.
fucking window at this point. Uh, but yeah, it's a very interesting style of D&D. I really hope they give more of these settings. Like, I'm with Charlie. After reading these, like, I'm kind of in Charlie's boat. I want to see what they do with Dark Sun.
I
Like, as
never gotten to Dark Sun.
like, I just want to see how they do like post-apocalyptic D&D.
Oh, okay, that's what it is.
It's
Got it.
post-apocalyptic D&D with like psionics instead of magic, because magic's
Gotcha.
ruined the world. Uh, so I'm really interested to see what they could do with that setting in like this style of presentation.
Mhm.
I don't want it to be 3 books in the collector's edition. I don't want to pay another $75 for this shit. So
You know what? That's fair. It probably does cost an arm and a leg.
it was probably also because it's hobby covers.
Oh yeah, no, that's what it is actually. Like, I thought it was supposed to be like 30-40 bucks for the 3 books,
Yeah,
but you got the hobby covers.
I got the hobby covers. And I guess
That's on you, dude.
I guess the one that comes with the DM screen also. So
Sure.
you know, I'm
I'll,
also
I'll,
gonna have to get this on D&D Beyond.
I'll
So
check the one of my players. Shout out to James on my Wednesday game. Pre-ordered the pre-ordered it specifically so we could have it in our game. So that feels good.
yeah,
My bi-weekly Wednesday game where I shifted them into space like a week early because I like kind of ran out of steam. It's like, all right, space,
space.
space.
Now we can go to the one place corrupted by capitalism. Space.
You gotta admit, like, no one can do that line straight.
He couldn't. Like, that was the
No, he
best
couldn't.
take. That was the best take they got that day. But that just shows how ridiculous that game is. Command and
I,
Conquer
I,
is
I
ridiculous.
also kind of theorized that they couldn't really afford him for very long, so they probably, all right, first take, just go.
Well, the cast of that game is ridiculous, but that's a whole different topic.
That's a whole different topic where we have like an hour or so.
Yeah, because I mean that game has like J.K. Simmons and George Takei and Tim Curry and a bunch of other. It has Gina Carano, I think before she was even like a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
So it's like that cast is ridiculous, but it is about that time. So this is episode 43. You know, we kind of
Made it to a year.
we made it
Woo!
we made it to a year. You know, kind of look back on what we've done and kind of where we hope things will go in the future, and kind of gave you guys a free peek at Spelljammer, completely unrelated to the topic at hand, but that plasmid is ready to go, just like we are. So
It was really fun looking at like statuses from a year ago where it's like, hey, am I a podcaster when my episode drops or when I record it?
definitely when it drops,
Yeah,
it's the starting
as I have
point.
learned.
The thing is, I can't be a streamer unless I stream. So,
Yeah.
but thank you all for the first year. Like I said, I know we've missed a few weeks. I know we missed the last few weeks. I think I saw like our wrestling episode came out like 3 weeks ago. So we're trying to get,
Yeah.
stuff happens. We're going to try to be a little more consistent about it.
Oh, I
But
thought about it. You could make the little plasmoids the cover for this episode.
yeah, that sums up 1 year of without context.
Good.
But yeah, so thank you all for your support on the podcast as well as the D&D campaign that Deck is running. And here's to another year.
One
Like
more.
said, I had a reminder in my phone that I had set for months. It's like, hey, this recording is for the 1 year. And
Aw.
I have a reminder for March. Hey, April 1st, you would have been doing this for 10 years on YouTube. So it's like,
That's your Full Metal Alchemist never forget. The little watch.
yeah, it's going to give me an entire month to figure out what the hell I want to do for my 1 year.
Your anniversary.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you all for the support. Thank you all for sharing out the podcast and subscribing and commenting and sharing the videos out. It definitely means a lot. And here's to year 2. So as always, see you guys next week. Take care, everybody.
Comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. We're real YouTubers.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you all next week, everybody.
Bye.